Sandra Clements with Clements Family Ministries, and we are going to go on a journey. It's called Her Story, and we're going to talk about Sarah. Now, for many years, we've been told some things about Sarah that are not necessarily biblically true based on the scriptures and based on history. First of all, let's give some information about Sarah. Sarah was the wife of Abraham. She is a daughter of Eve in that Sarah's seed is going to be one of those historical events that's going to bruise the head of the serpent because of the seed that's coming from Sarah. Sarah is the niece of Abraham and the sister of Lot and Milcah. She is the mother of nations, and the Bible says, the Lord said that kings of people would come from us. And this is what I really like about Sarah. She is the leader of her own tribe and clan. Now, no one ever knew that before. I didn't know it until I started to study the scriptures. Now, let's look at how Abraham and Sarah got to be on this journey that they're on. And you're going to see some interaction between Abraham and Sarah that's going to surprise you in reference to her role in his life, even in captivity. Genesis 12 says that God called Abram, Abram, to leave his own kin and to go into a land that God would show him. And then it says that God took his wife, Sarai, Sarai, and his nephew Lot to go on this journey with him. But we know from historical writings that Abram did not take Sarah, that God caused her to want to go with Sarah because Sarah had come out of a matriarchal system. And in this matriarchal system, women were recognized as head of the tribe or clan. Descendants were identified with the woman rather than the man. Like in our culture presently, your children are identified by their father's name. Well, in this matriarchal culture, the children were identified by the mother. Husbands severed their relationships with their own families, and they began to attach themselves to the families of their wife. A woman was entirely free to choose her own mate. Can you imagine that based on what we've been taught over the years? And a woman retained, after marriage, absolute control over her own person. She was not property. She was a real person. And we're going to see how that is going to play itself out in the Abraham-Sarah story. Now, Abraham is on this journey with God and his clan, or you'll hear it say household, and household means everybody that you're responsible for it. And in some cases it was a whole community, but it meant his slaves, his animals, all the relatives that would come. That was considered his household. And so he was on this journey with his household, a nephew, a wife, their families, animals, all these things. He was on this journey. Well, God then speaks to Abraham. He says to Abraham, Abraham or Abram, I'm going to change your name. He said, you're going to be the father of the multitudes. And while I'm changing your name, I want you to change the name of your wife. She shall no longer be called Sarai. She shall be called Sarah, because Sarah means prince, chief, leader. You see, up until this point, I'm thinking that Abraham thought that Sarah was, just like any other little woman. Any other woman, should I say. I don't like the word little, but any other woman. And what God did for Sarah in changing her name was that he redefined her role in Abram's life. He redefined her role in that he didn't make her not only just a wife, but a wife of prominence and a wife of power. A wife that has as much say-so in the family dynamic as Abraham had to say, or Abraham had to say. And we're going to see that as they continue to sojourn from Ur of the Chaldeans, headed toward Canaan. Now, what had happened was that made them leave too and head toward Egypt rather than going directly to Canaan was that there was a famine in the land. And in Egypt, there was provision. So they found themselves in a journey into Egypt. And into Egypt, something wonderful for Abraham happens, or Abram happens. But something very interesting you're going to see happen for Sarah. This is Sandra Clements, and we're talking about, and he gave them. We're talking about Sarah as a matriarch, Sarah as a leader, Sarah as a leader of a clan, and Sarah as an equal partner with her husband Abraham. We'll pick back up with our story next time.